No sitting president has ever done this. Never, never, never. No Republican president has done this. No Democratic president. We have racists, and they've existed. They've tried to get elected president. He's the first one that has.
So what you just heard there was Joe Biden telling an absolutely massive lie that Donald Trump is the first and only American president in history that has been a racist. That is not true. We know this. Why Joe Biden is saying it is either because he's lying to try to make Donald Trump look worse than he is, or that Joe Biden frankly doesn't understand American history, maybe a combination of both of those. Look, the United States is a country where basically for its first 100 years, people could own other people, and that ownership class largely, and the people being owned, was determined by race. And 12 presidents, basically, and many other elite figures, many other Congress people, vice presidents, governors, all sorts of folks owned people. They literally owned people based on a system of racial hierarchy. It was, under any definition of the term, a racist society. A society where white people had supremacy over everyone else, black and indigenous people in particular. And even after that, there was yet another 100 years of open formal discrimination against minorities in terms of immigration policy, in terms of who got to vote in certain areas, in terms of healthcare, education, the ability to serve in the military, and on and on and on and on and on. Even then, under any definition of the term, America was a society that had deep racial inequality. Every president that served from the beginning of the United States until at least 1960, 1970 was racist. Every single one. Even Lincoln, even the good ones, they all were. But even beyond that, going even into the modern era, the way in which American society at home and abroad upholds patterns of inequality between people based on race and ethnicity, certainly even many of the modern presidents had those racist viewpoints, without a doubt. And I would say, at least in his historic actions, Joe Biden, via the crime bill, acted with racial animus against black people. This is not to excuse Donald Trump. I agree, actually, that Donald Trump is indeed a racist, that he hates people based on race and ethnicity and religion. There's no doubt in my mind. And I think it's probably fair to say that relative to some modern presidents, relative to, say, Bush and Bush Sr. and Clinton and Obama and a lot of these folks, that he might be worse. I think that's a point you could at least reasonably argue. But to suggest that the United States has never had a president like Donald Trump in terms of somebody that hates people because of their race is just one of the most ridiculous claims I've seen made by a serious presidential contender in my entire life. Without hyperbole. Absolutely. You don't need to make stuff up about Donald Trump. This is going to fundamentally backfire against Joe Biden. And it shows a man that's so gaffe-prone, whether it's due to his hubris or whether it's due to his cognitive decline and dementia. The man doesn't know when to rein it in a little bit and just keep the facts as they are. Talk about Donald Trump's policies, which do harm people based on racial categories. But don't try to make stuff up like this that's easily disprovable. What a lot of people, especially those who are going to vote for Joe Biden, have said is that racial inequality in the United States is baked into the systems. And that means that it's existing before Trump, during Trump, and after Trump. And what that also means is that individual political actors, including many presidents, maybe the majority, if not nearly all US presidents, have embodied and perpetuated those systems. Joe Biden absolutely told a huge whopper today. And it's the kind of whopper that's actively going to harm the people that face those struggles based on race. Absolute awful claim by Biden today. It doesn't mean that Trump isn't a racist, but it does mean that Joe Biden doesn't know what the hell he's talking about.